The infamous pod killer is back in the Syndicate headquarters, right in the heart of the Syndicate salt mine. Well, joke aside, I've been thinking about the upcoming balance patch and how it might affect my ships, and it should be fun. I'm very much looking forward for the upcoming changes, and of course, I'm looking forward for the ammunition that will be introduced sometime in the future. Mostly because it should improve some of my ships. However, it might also downgrade some of my weapon systems, especially lasers and missiles. Reactive hardeners are going to be a problem, and I believe that's the moment where the reactive hardeners are going to be jumping up in price, and that's the moment when they will be, I guess, when they will be more useful. But with that being said, I believe it's time to jump in the Orthrus and let's see what targets we get today. Okay then, warping towards the fleet commander.
Warp drive active.
Now you might be wondering, why do I have 3 medium slot modules installed? Well, it's actually 4, but for some reason one slot glitched out and it doesn't show one of the targets, one of the tracking disruptors. We have a Abaddon. We have a good old chunk, the original chunk. Now I have to be very careful. Abaddon has up to 50-kilometer range. They can track an Orthrus orbiting at this range. So that's why I have the dual tracking disruptors. And you can see that the tracking disruptors are actually working. Below the ship icon you can see dual tracking disruptors working, but the module on the overview appears to be glitched out, so my apologies for that. Abaddon is a armor tank, active armor tank, and they are very tanky, as expected from a Abaddon, one of the tankiest ships in the game. We have dual Earth running around, and well, both of us are orbiting at a similar orbit. Abaddon is shooting at the other Orthrus. We are orbiting outside of the drone range, so drones won't be able to chase us. Abaddon appears to be tanking quite well. Not quite sure if the tank appears to be holding against our missiles. Now the Abaddon is shooting at me. I'm the primary target. I'm orbiting at 38-37 kilometers. Abaddon at around 70%, below 70% armor. So far they are unable to hit. They have 4 tracking disruptors working on them, so the chances for me to get hit is not that great. Which is a good thing, because Abaddon is one of those ships that is very hard to tackle with an Orthrus. They can track really well and they have range. Just like the Apocalypse and the Apocalypse Striker, all 3 ships are actually very hard to tackle in an Orthrus. Okay, so far so good. Local did spike up a little bit. We have 9 in local. The Abaddon still shooting at me, although I'm taking no damage. The armor on the Abaddon slowly going down. They are using dual armor repairers, but we are doing more damage than they can repair. Now it's 8 in local, okay. Dual neutralizers. The Abaddon definitely has at least 1 or 2 capacitor batteries. Now I'm going to be changing orbit a little bit, just in case the neutralizers start to deplete my capacitor. I've noticed some ships can have up to 40-kilometer range with the neutralizers. I believe it's with a nanocore, and I'm not talking about the Balgorn, I'm talking about the Rattlesnake. I believe the Rattlesnake can have up to 40 plus kilometer neutralizer range. At least that's what I've been told. Haven't confirmed that myself, but it's a possibility. Now I got hit, not sure if I got hit by the Abaddon or if I got hit by the other ships, but I got hit while changing orbit. But still, the damage taken is not that serious. When the capacitor battery is recharged, I will use that to boost up my shield. But at the moment, everything appears to be stable. Almost hit the friendly Orthrus there. We are both orbiting at the same range, with similar velocity, just in the opposite direction. Now, just to avoid crashing in the friendly Orthrus, I'll just change my orbit to my original orbit. Okay, doing some good damage. They are still repairing armor, but our missiles are going through the armor. A little bit of hull left, and a little bit of armor left. And the Abaddon has been destroyed. That was a good fight. That was a good fight. A very tanky Abaddon. However, a PvP Abaddon can be a little bit more tanky with armor plates. I had experience flying the Abaddon and it's incredibly tanky. The tankiest armor tank battleship in the game. Alright, well, time to go towards the next target. We have another tier 10 battleship lurking around, just waiting on the warp command, and time to go. Warping at 100. I have 4 points in warp this case. I usually like to change my build before engaging a serious target. Depends on what I am engaging. That's a nice warp with the Gila. Yep, this looks pretty nice. Wish we had more cruisers warping like this. Makes for some very good screenshots. Alright, we have a Dominix too, and they seem to be showing us the broadside. They are not aligned to any station. They have been pointed, and I'll be orbiting at 35 kilometers. Have to make sure that I don't lose points, because Dominix can... Most of these drone boat battleships have a lot of stabs that I've seen, and I have to make sure that my points are on the Dominix. Don't want to have a Dominix to escape. They're using sentry drones, so they will not do any damage to me. The Dominix is also using large autocannons. Kinda weird, I prefer missiles on drone boats, but I guess autocannons work as well. Uh-oh, well that's not looking good. I have the whole beehive chasing after me. Mark 9 Valkyries, alright. Well that's not looking good. Medium drones shred Orthrus, as you can see. But the Dominix is going down, so I'm going to risk it and I'm not going to budge from this position. My shield has been penetrated. Well, that was some serious armor damage there. Alright, that was kinda tricky. Did take some... One fourth of my armor has been damaged in one cycle of the drones. That Dominix had some DPS, that's for sure. If I had my good old tank build on the Orthrus, it wouldn't be much of a problem, but, well, I prefer the Orthrus to be... full on DPS. Okay, let's take a look at the target. 3.4 billion, not bad. Actually pretty good. Not complaining about that, was actually pretty good. Okay, let's take a look at what's inside of the wreck. The last Omnix that we fought had a whole beehive inside. This one had some sentry drones. I believe they will have some medium drones and large drones. Okay. Well, not bad. That is nice loot. And of course, that was a nice kill. Well, been a while since my Orthrus was damaged until armor. Was a good fight. Now, let's go back to the good old Ashimu. I feel like I haven't showed love for this ship in a proper manner, so let's use the Ashimu in its designed purpose, hunting ships. Now, we are hunting a Hurricane, and we are currently very close to the salt mines. Actually, we are walking towards the salt mines here. Okay, well, things are about to be fun. That system over there that we're warping to is interesting. One of my first PvP videos was with the RB in that exact system. And sometimes I like to come back to that video and just look at where it all started. Basically, I have been around Syndicate for 2 years with different corps and of course with different people. Well, definitely was a lot different back then. It's still fun nonetheless. Okay, well, landing on the gate, the Hurricane has jumped through. The Ashimu is one of the best null sack PvP ships that you can find. Blood Raiders are just made for PvP. They're made for null sack. They're terrifying ships. And the Hurricane has been tackled. Alright, let me help my teammate. Let me help my buddy here. They have been webbed, pointed. And I say they have been webbed, I mean the Hurricane, not the Garmor. Let's not push any blue on blue jokes here, okay? Although I kinda deserve them, to be honest, but yeah. Oh, uh-oh. Is this a Sino RB? That's the question. Well, is my Ashimu about to go down? Well, let's find out. The RB has tackled the Garmor. I have to quickly web that thing down. They have been webbed. Okay, Garmor is safe. That's good. Now I can focus on shooting down this cover tops. I have 2 tracking disruptors and a scrambler on me. Interesting. Well, if Sino lights up, I'm dead. If the Sino lights up, expect a carrier or a dreadnought to just hop in. Actually, a dreadnought would not be able to hit me. A carrier, on the other hand, would be a problem. So I'm trying to get a good transversal velocity. So far I'm doing good damage on the RB. May my Valkyrie rest in pieces. That drone has served me quite well for a couple months. The RB seems to be doing little to no damage on my Ashimu. This is a tank, shield tank Ashimu, very tanky. Okay. They are going down. Well, looks like my Ashimu is not going down today. There was no Sino. Now you might be wondering, why do I say Sino? Well, that RB over there is known to be a Sino RB. They did already open Sino on us a couple times, that exact ship there. I guess in this case they did not have Sino equipped. Well, that was a nice little fight there. 2 nice kills with the Ashimu. Alright, well, back in the mini spacepan. Although this kinda looks like this ship kinda looks like a spacepan when you look it from the front. But the real spaceman, the Barghest, well, that's a whole different story. That thing is flat, very flat, and big. Alright, what do we have here? We have a prophecy that has been tackled. I have 4 points. They have been pointed. This prophecy about to have a very bad day. One more hit, and there we go. That was a nice one. I will leave the loot for my teammates before another joke pops in about me stealing loot. Well, did I just start a new joke? Virtual the loot thief. I can see that happening. Yeah, I can definitely see that one happening. So I better not touch any wrecks from now on. Let's see, I got called the team killer, I will be called the loot thief. What's next? I got called the pod killer, okay. I embraced all of these things, by the way. They're fun. And virtual the target. Well, cannot make a joke about that. For some reason I'm not that creative today. I missed that hurricane. I did a mistake. Did have a bad warping, although they were aligned, so. And here looks like the other target has also warped away. Well then, 2 targets missed in a row. That's fine.
Warp drive active.
Let's go towards the next one. We have a dual Orthrus again, interesting. Well then, my wish from earlier got granted. My wish got granted. We had the dual Orthrus warping together again. Okay, we have 2 targets. We have an RB and we have a Caracal Navy. My job is to my job was to focus on the Caracal Navy. My buddy's job was to focus on the RB, and of course we did split points between the targets so that they had no chance of warping away. And they were shooting at the base for some reason, so we cannot let our base be destroyed. And now let me earn my pod killer name. Although for this ship, kinda too late. The Orthrus had a phenomenal runtime, the best performing ship out of any ship that I know of. Over 1.5 thousand kills, and I can see it happening. People will say 1.5 thousand pods. And that's fine. If you like that joke, go ahead, I don't mind it. And now let's go towards the next target. Have the classic Orth build. However, I do not recommend that you fly this ship with 3 points. Go with at least 2 points and 1 scrambler. Or you can scan the target and change the build into 3 points and 1 scrambler. That's the safe approach while flying this ship. And we have a prophecy. Okay. They have been pointed. I had a pretty good warping. I had to approach, but they didn't have enough time to warp away or align, so they got caught off guard. That's how I like to fly this ship. Basically with time I learned the best warping distance without actually looking at the ship. I know what to expect from the scan. Basically can develop the tactics by just looking at the ship, so not a big problem at all. And let's do this. Alright, nice. I got some fuel. Excellent. Just what I need. It's not like I have 3000 plasmoids in the cargo hold, but you know, can have enough of fuel. Well then, that was a lovely little roam, I have to admit. Well, this was very fun. The first 2 battleships were very good pilots, and the Dominic's pilot if they were just a split second faster at focusing the Orthrus down, then most likely I would have to warp away in Hull, or maybe I would be still on grid there fighting just with you know, some hull damage and with a little bit of a panic attack, but you know, that's just part of the game and part of how things roll. And well, with that being said, hope that you enjoyed. It's a pleasure to record and upload this game, honestly, and I'm starting to have more fun than ever. So definitely looking forward for the future updates, looking forward for the balance patch, that one should be fun, and looking forward for new ships. I'm still waiting for a ship that will outperform the Orthrus in PvP. So yeah, fun times are indeed ahead for Eve Echoes. Stay safe, fly safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.